What's going on today? How everybody doing? As you always know, and I always say, ain't nothing new under the sun, right? So, in light of recent events, after the last video I put up about introduction to Tether House, it picked up a lot of traction, and I've actually gotten a lot of feedback, a lot of messages in my inboxes, people wanting to share their story, people that have been going through the same things with the institutions, as well as NYU, as well as 1199 SEIU. So, one, it let me know that everything that I've been doing over these last 3 years now is not all in vain. And it confirms for me my thoughts that not only is this institution wide as far as the hospitals that we all work at, but it's also institution wide with 1199 SEIU. And so that being said, I want to answer a few questions out the gate, and let me answer a few questions and give a brief description for everyone that's new here to what's going on. So we'll start off that my name is Ashley Hamadi Scruggs. I worked for NYU for 15 years. I started at HJD, the Hospital for Joint Disease, down on 17th Street as an infusion coordinator. From there, I went to 38th Street, which was LOC or CMC, Center for Musculoskeletal Care, as a rehab attendant or an assistant for physical therapists and occupational therapists. That being said, over my tenure there, as a lot of you know, my wife also worked for NYU, and she was Austin Bender's assistant at the HJD office for HR. And that's actually one of the reasons that I started going so hard on this, is because, when people decided to besmirch my name, act like they weren't doing what I recorded them doing, the rabbit hole I found myself in, and everyone that was involved, all the connections were strange. But again, for those of you that don't know, like I said, my wife worked for the hospital for almost 20 years, damn near 20 decades. So if you were to go to HJD, which is on 17th Street, when you walk in, they have an auditorium, or you were to go to 1 Park Avenue and to their HR department, or to 22nd Street, which is HJD's HR department, and you walk into any of those institutions, you're going to find this sitting on the wall. So yes, that is my wife, the mother of 2 of my children, Terry Langone. Now, that being said, just to give you an idea of who I am and the people involved and why I went to these links. In this time, because Terry worked in HR, she saw a lot of the things that were going on in the background, and it bothered her to her spirit, to the core of her soul. So as husband and wife, we sat down at a certain point and had a conversation. And that's when I became a delegate. And that's when I got introduced to Evelyn Campos Santos. Now, from the previous video, Welcome to Tether House, you already know who she is, as well as Mr. Michael Ashby. That being said, when 1199 refused to service me, I decided, you know what, it's time for me to take matters into my own hands. So the first thing I did was I contacted EEOC, and I filed charges against NYU, my institution, and I got that on. About a month after that, I filed labor board charges with New York State against 1199, and Stacey Gray was the first name that was actually on there, even though individuals like Ruthless Toothless try to use that I put her name out there, which is a complete lie, but a whole nother story for another day. But that being said, what I realized was that a lot of the things that 1199, our union, tells us that they can't do, or there's nothing they can do about it, the law department says XYZ, is all BS. They just don't know what they're doing. And the reason I say that is because I proved that the organizers are literally a non-factor, because everything they told me that I couldn't do, or that they couldn't do, I got it done myself, because they, at a certain point, refused to even contact. Any contact, no emails, no nothing. That being said, here's a screenshot of the correspondence with the state in regards to me putting in my first offer for the conciliation, because the state has decided to approach NYU with a letter of reconciliation, as they call it. And that means that they have ruled in my favor, that I have proven that the claims and charges that I brought on them, I have enough evidence to justify my claims. That's also why I was able to win my unemployment appeal. Now, that being said, I want to actually stop right here, and I want you to hear a conversation of our organizers and our VPs and how they treat their union due paying members. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Someone would reach out to me in 24 to 48 hours. I never heard anything, and then when I emailed back, 2 separate times I didn't hear anything. But my EEOC investigator was asking, what's the status of my case?
So, to my understanding, you had a termination grievance that was held?
Correct.
The termination grievance was denied. I believe they took it to the chapter here in appeals. It was also denied, and I think the status of the case right now is waiting for division here in appeals to hear the case.
But
is what I understand.
The individuals that denied my case, they didn't even look at the evidence that we gave them. And I know they didn't because we gave it to them on links. And the way I set it up is that every time someone watches it, I'm notified. They never even look at the evidence. So how could they make a determination about my case without even reviewing the evidence? And then I find it odd that one of them that makes a decision after Evelyn comes back from vacation is now a organizer all of a sudden. None of this is making sense. And I've been trying to fight this case now. I've been going back and forth with this for 3 years now, and not once has any organizer, anybody, even when I met with Stacey Gray, has anyone done anything to assist me. I've had to do everything on my own. And my EEOC case is now in conciliation, which means I've proven my case. Which means that 1199 has refused to represent me as a union paying member. And nobody's telling me anything. Nobody's giving me any answers. Nobody's doing their job. But everyone's acting like I'm the problem.
So here's what I could say to you. You had a grievance. I believe you had a delegate of your choice. You went to the employer. The employer denied your grievance. It went to the committee, the chapter committee. The chapter committee denied. Then the next step now is to go to division. The division.
But I'm still trying to. But sir, you're not giving me an answer on why your committee denied my hearing without even looking at the evidence, sir.
So when was your case? I'm not privy to your case. I don't know anything about your case. You reached out. I'm following up with you. The process, the next step in this process is that it would now go to the division here in appeals.
But I understand that, but what I'm trying to understand is I came down there 2 months ago, and I was told within 24 to 48 hours I would hear back. Hold on one moment, sir. I came down there 2 months ago, but I was told I would hear something in 24 to 48 hours. I know that you spoke to my delegate after that saying you would call us the next day. And never anything. And I not only emailed you, I also emailed who was the organizer at the time, Evelyn, and I think it was Jasmine as well. But nobody's reached out and said anything. And these are the things that I'm talking about when I say 1199 doesn't do their job, and then you leave the members out there alone to do your job for them.
I am telling you, the next step is your grievance your grievance will now go to the division here in appeals. The hearing appeals, I will check in with our legal team to find out when is it scheduled for. I know that there was a backlog. I will find out to get.
But how can I trust in that process if in the last process?
So let me say this to you. It's up to you whether you trust it or not. I'm following up with you to let you know what.
But I'm explaining to you, sir, that your staff did not even look at the evidence. Hold on, Mr. Ashby.
All right, so.
You do understand.
I'm not going to sit and relitigate something that I have no knowledge about. I am saying.
But I'm telling you this, and you act like you don't care, and you're talking over me like everyone else does. You all simply don't care, and that's the problem, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you, sir.
But if you're saying I'm like everyone else, then it tells me that this is an ongoing issue. This is my first time speaking to you, and I'm trying to explain to you.
Because I came down there 2 months ago, you've refused to answer any email. You can see the email chain that I've been keeping in correspondence. This is the first time that you've even thought about responding to me. So no, you are acting like everyone else. And to sit here and actually play with my mind, if they have the audacity to think I'm stupid. Are you crazy?
You have a good day, sir.
You know what? I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to have a very, very good day. I'm going to have a very good day, and you're going to have one real soon, okay? Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy. Reporting to you live from the back of the classroom. You already know what it is. It's all for entertainment purposes only. And, reporting to you from a parallel timeline. But anyways, as y'all know, last couple days, I've been talking about transparency forces accountability. So I know a lot of people may view or consider what I did as a crash out. You know, I like to call it hopping out the window. But my thinking is that it only takes one. And I'm about to prove to you how even when you don't know that you have a network of like-minded individuals already around you, you always do, and it's always happened. But not only that, right? I already had a network of individuals because, you know, I've been through this process twice. I went to employee relations twice. I've met with LeBronca. And when I sat with LeBronca, I let him know what was going on in CMC from the perspective of when I was a delegate. Then I also let him know what I was going through. But we see how that was handled. But anyways, a wonderful... I don't know how to put this. Let's put it this way, right? You know how you got the devil and the angel on each joint? Well, a little angel came by and bing, dropped off the nice little morsel nugget of information. So we're gonna dive down, have a listen, and we're gonna see what the narrative truly is and what's really going on with 1199. And its organizers and its vice presidents that claim they're never notified about anything. And pay attention to how due-paying union members are treated by the 1199 staff, who our union dues pay their salary.
And I didn't know that she's on LOA, so I called again today, and then I realized that she's on LOA. So then they said to call Evelyn, but Evelyn has no information about my case. Who's covering her?
So what is it you're asking?
I sent the email yesterday. I included you in it. Nobody
Yeah, I don't
responded.
know why you keep sending these emails. Monique spoke to you. I spoke to you. You called Jackie. Jackie spoke to you. What is it you're asking?
For a date. I'm just asking when I'm gonna get a date, and nobody can answer
You're gonna
that.
get a date. Didn't Monique tell you she's gonna respond to you once they have a date, Tony? You keep calling. We had this conversation before.
Every month. So I don't have the right. I could just stay out here without a job and just chill out
Tony,
here.
that's your business.
Huh?
Go to the labor board. File a board charge. What the hell you're calling every minute for? What? We don't.
Every minute is not every minute. It's once a month.
When we get
month.
a date, we will contact you. You keep calling.
So I don't have the right to call
who's
supposed to be representing me?
So
you telling me I don't have to, and then you get it. Why are you cursing at me?
What is it you want to happen?
I need to get a date. You want to happen? I want to get my job back. I want to get a date. That's what I want.
So you're gonna have to fucking wait like everybody else.
Yo, don't curse at me, because I'm not cursing at you.
No, I'm cursing you because you're annoying me now.
Oh, I'm annoying you.
Go to the labor. Go to the labor board.
I'm asking you to do your job.
Go.
I'm annoying you because I'm asking you to do my job. I'm asking you to do your job. You work for me, right? I pay dues.
Charges. What happened?
I pay union dues. You work for me. So it's okay for you to curse at me. No problem. Thank you, Mike, very much.
Tony, you do not stop harassing people. Wait,
I'm
going to get a date. The legal department already told you.
Oh,
you went to the labor board. Go to the labor board and file board charges.
No problem. No problem.
Go to the labor board and file board charges. Do that.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So yeah, there it is. You heard it. You tell me. Due-paying union member complaining about same organizer I'm talking about not doing their job, and you see how 1199 treats them. You see how they treat us. So people never realize when you have a network of like-minded individuals already in play. Now, see, when I met with LeBronca, I explained to him then that, because from when I was delegate, that I had already had a network of people that were willing to tell their truth. They just didn't trust management or 1199. And he said, oh, I'm going to fix that. But we see how that went. So this is why now I'm like, you know what? If they're not going to do it, it's up to us. Like they say, all for one, one for all. That's what the union tells us, right? Except they all for them. And instead of doing their jobs, is what our union dues pay them to do, grievances for wrongful termination or write-ups that have no merit or any basis, right? But they too busy following the political nominee of choice around the country campaigning off of our union dues instead of doing their job. So at this point, anybody else out there that got any other little one-party morsels of information that they like to share, just send it my way, or send it to one of the, and they'll make sure y'all know where to get it to, because things just happen to find their way to my inbox in the last few days. And that's what networking does. This is how this shit works, right? Like I say, I already hopped out the window. I don't mind having a target on my back because I got all my receipts. So, again, if any of this resonates, if you've dealt with this issue, like, comment, subscribe, and share, because the more people realize that we hold the power and that transparency forces accountability, the quicker we make this type of shit stop. Keep your eyes to the stars, head on a swivel. Remember, it's up to us to keep these demons in check. It's already etched in stone, so you might as well just enjoy the ride. All right, now, as you can hear and clearly see, this is the level of respect and concern that they actually use for the 1199 SCU members who actually pay their union dues. I'm sorry, we pay our union dues, which pays their salary. Yet they have time and effort to march, campaign for politicians, print flyers, banners, and everything else for illegal aliens who are under the law of being removed from our country, but they don't have the time to represent any of their members, even though we're the ones that keep this whole institution afloat. For some reason, to me, that just doesn't make sense. And why is no one doing anything about it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because everyone's scared of retaliation. Now, in the last video, I spoke about this individual, which I want to take a moment to first, I want to acknowledge the sacrifice that was made, because me going through what I went through, and when it came time for my first grievance, there were people that wanted to help, but there were people that outright told me they were scared of retaliation. And I have the evidence to prove it. They even when they spoke to the state, they told the state investigator, if you cannot promise me that my statements will remain anonymous, I don't want to say anything because I'm scared of retaliation. Well, what happens? My brother, Kevin, aka the Guller Richardson, as you see here, he decided to stand on what he thought was morally and ethically right and what he saw the union not doing. And he stood on business. And so what ended up happening is that when NYU denied my unemployment claim, I filed for appeal. I said, you know what? If they're gonna tell me no, I'm gonna make them keep telling me no until I get a yes. Well, long story short, when we get to appeal, I'm using him. He's on the line with us, and he was going to be just a witness. Well, for whatever reason, maybe divine intervention. But at that moment, the judge asked him, well, if you've been his delegate through the whole process, would you, or he actually asked me, do you mind, or would you like for him, not even do you mind, he said, are you going to use him as a representative or just a witness? Because you say he's been your delegate up to this point, so that is the same as a representative. Don't take a rocket scientist. And fast forward about 2-3 weeks later, he tells me, yo, something's going on with unemployment. Me not knowing, because he got a text to his mail from the U.S. Post Office that he got something delivered. So I hop on the email and check. What happens? Unemployment appeal approved. 2 weeks from that point, he gets pulled into the office and he's terminated. Now, mind you, this man has also been a delegate for about 13 or 14 years, a loyal delegate under Laura Goodwin, old Ruthless Toothless. This is the same woman that said she had no idea what I was talking about when I first went public with my story and started posting things online. She acted like I was crazy and why are you putting in you doing this and you talking about the union? You mad because I'm telling the truth? And then she proceeded to run around and lie and besmirch on my name. And she knows what she said, but neither here nor there. But my point is this. After that last video and the response I've gotten, I've decided to take a few more steps because so many people have reached out wanting to share their story, and some people even told me that, which I didn't even know, were lurking behind the scenes and over the last 2 years have been watching my videos and themselves started collecting receipts under New York State's one-party rule. So they are now keeping email trails and audio visual recordings. So I decided to apply for a New York State press card. And this way, anyone that wants to share their story or anonymously, or you want to be open with it, anyone that has anything to share, you can reach out to us, myself or Kevin Richardson. You can just hit us or hit me in a personal message, and I will actually be putting all the different social media accounts in the description so that you can find us on all platforms. But all the things that 1199 hasn't been doing, if they're not assisting you, reach out to us and I will give you the play-by-play. We will both sit down with you and give you the play-by-play instructions on how to do exactly what it is that we've been doing that the union refuses to do. And that way, somebody's going to start making all the members of this union whole, because them taking dues, constantly treating members as you've heard here, it makes absolutely no sense. So before we close out, I'm going to play a couple of snippets of clips with my meeting with Stacey Gray, which was at the time VP of 1199 SEIU, as well as Jose Labraca, who is the Director of Employee Relations for NYU Langone. And so with that,
but I knew all about her. I came from the Brooklyn campus.
Oh.
So when I heard that, that's how I knew that she used to work with Marcia and them. I always knew Marcia and them, but by high and by.
Yeah.
And Austin, I used to work with. And when I heard, I remember when that happened. I didn't know that was you, bro.
Yeah. She was Austin. She was Austin for years.
We got a plaque on HR and all that shit. It's interesting because when I go back and tell the girls, guess who I was with today? They're gonna be like, oh shit, Jose. So, you saw it. So, contrary to believe, I'm actually pretty cool. So the angry black man thing don't work with me. And the Spanish girl thing don't work with me. I don't see color at work. I don't play that shit. I want you to know that.
No.
I'm keeping 110 with you. I don't play the angry black dude because they play the angry Spanish dude with me too. I know anything that comes out of our mouth will be used against us.
She knows that.
Angry.
She knows that is
the words. I'm not certain she even knows that she's Hispanic, Hamadi. Don't even get me started. So, I'm keeping 100 with you. Stay away from her. Angry.
She knows that is
the words. I'm not certain she even knows that she's Hispanic, Hamadi. Don't even get me started. She even knows that she's Hispanic, Hamadi. Don't even get me started. She even knows that she's Hispanic, Hamadi. Don't even get me started.
About the time, I had no idea I had a meeting today.
Why you didn't know?
I got to work, got on the floor. I had to open up my email. Right around the time Laura checked you, and that's when I saw I was released. It had me got no idea where it was at. Anything. No one told me anything.
Well, Laura should have told you. She's the one who set up the meeting.
Okay.
And got you released. But she been busy. I know. We all been busy, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean, so I apologize for that, okay?
No, I was apologizing for my lateness, because I know you guys, like I said, everyone's
You're good.
busy.
Okay. No worries on that. So, I'm here to meet with you because there were some issues and I keep hearing your name from the organizers, and that Laura had a good intervention meeting with you and Mr. LaBaca, and she says it was quite productive, and she wanted to end it on a good note by having you meet with the VP. I don't know if my EVP is going to make it in here today. She's here today, but I don't want to hold you up either. So my name is Stacy Gray. I'm the new Vice President in the area. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. So I wanted to know, what exactly is it that you want me to be reminded of? And what exactly is it that we need moving forward? And what is now still outstanding? Okay? So the floor is yours. So,
Yeah, I know she wanted me to, like, to let you guys know what's going on. I don't know if she told you what my issue was with the institution with NYU and everything that was going on.
so she gave me some synopsis. She did that there was a past history here, and that you had made several complaints of concern on your behalf. I feel as if they tried to ignore it. When Laura intervened and finally had the conversation with you and Mr. LaBaca, that's when things started favorably moving forward, because you needed to be heard and addressed based on what you've been complaining about, and they're acting like they don't know what you're talking about, or as if you're a problematic person and they don't want to deal with you. That's what I am of the dialogue from what I've been hearing.
Yes,
Okay, so I think that's pretty accurate.
Russ, on the 5th floor.
What's your title?
I'm a rehabilitator.
Okay. Okay. All right, now, your date of hire?
2010.
Okay, that's good.
October 2010.
Okay. Oh, you're an October guy. So. All right, so you had an evaluation done in October. You met with these two individuals, and what did your evaluation look like? I heard you say that there was some indiscretions in it.
Like I said, like in the notations, they'll put that, like, they've had conversations with me and that I don't interact with my coworkers well, which is not true. That my tone is always wrong, and I've tried to explain to them time and time again, there's nothing wrong with my tone. They just don't like the fact that when they're doing things that are against the law, that I finally put my foot down and I'm telling them I'm not tolerating it anymore. And every time I try to have conversations with them, they always tell me that either it's not the right time or we're not talking about that. And then we even tried to set up meetings with them, with my delegate, which she sent out an email asking when would be the right time, to which they never respond. So it's like every time I try to have conversations with them to even explain to them what's been going on and what they're doing, because they say they're not doing anything, they act like they can't see it. And for me, it became an issue because every time I'm reaching out trying to tell people what's going on, everyone's telling me that I'm tweaking and I'm bugging out, and I'm like, I'm not. And I had to go to the lengths and the degree that I had to go to just to prove to what these people were doing. And even now, like,
Okay, but I'm just letting you know you're going to see me come in your area.
just the fact that you're taking time to sit down with me lets me know that already.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And
I kept saying to Laura, I don't want to kick the can down the road. You promised him something. Let's make that promise come true.
And the last time she and I spoke, because, at first I was being impatient, and that's what made me dig deeper and get out of my emotions. And that's something that the universe is teaching me. You have to be patient and give time for everything to do what it needs to do. And that's why I just focus on other things, like keeping myself mentally sound, physically sound, and
work
when
on
those things
getting
come,
on social
they'll
media. Okay? You get on it, that's your privilege. I ain't telling you not to. Just be cautious of your delivery when you're on it, because that causes prejudgment too, and it looks like a venting outlet. So everybody doesn't take that well.
You know what? And I understand that, and that's why I said when we first sat down, I said it bothered me that I had to get to that extent, because I had to do that to get anyone to even take me serious. And the thing is, they weren't taking me serious. They just didn't like what I was saying, and the avenue where I was saying it. Because up until that point, nobody wanted to hear nothing I had to say.
Let me be honest with you on that one. It could raise concerns for everybody, because that's how I knew who you were.
Because I was rocking the boat.
You was rocking more than the boat. The steering wheel. You was kicking cans off that damn boat. You was doing your thing, and I ain't mad at you.
But this is the thing.
But I'm just saying, it raised more than just, yeah, you rocked the boat. You know I'm not going to dispute you on that. But it raised a whole lot of other concerns.
But my question is, why did
the suppression of not addressing you also added to that. And that's what I got out of it.
That's the only reason it happened, because I went to HR once.
Yes.
And they did nothing. I went back around the same loop. I followed the chain of command twice. It wasn't until the second. Put it to you this way. This been going on 6 years. And I've been doing it. Finally, I decided about 2 years ago to take a stand.
And after you came from rehab, right? And they know all the things you went through, the loss of your wife, this, that, and the other. See, they started looking at you as you was going off on the deep end.
But I wasn't. And I told them that. And I'm like...
But you coming to work.
But they're pushing me, and they're doing the things that they're doing. And then they're wondering why when I tell them, like, yo, you're harassing me. You're letting patients come in here and tell me that they don't want to see me and a coworker because we're black and we send us home. And it's like, okay, fine, we do it. Don't complain about it. But no matter what happens, you keep telling me I'm wrong, even when I'm not doing anything wrong, and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and all I was asking was, just leave me alone, let me do my job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time and appreciate your grace for those of you that have made it this far. Before I close out, there's one more thing that I really want to say. And, you know, when I talk about this experience, I talk about all the things that I did, but the fact of the matter is, and the truth is that I would have not been able to get these things accomplished alone, because I actually had and still have a lot of help. Now, when I started the last video, I gave the definition of what a tether was. And the reason that I want to double back and reiterate this is because in this process, some of the individuals that showed up when it was time to go to war and do that trial by fire, there were people that told me that, oh, you're wrong. Why would you do something like that? That I was making these individuals who were breaking the law look bad because I was holding them accountable. But when I tried to do it the way the system did it, nobody wanted to take me serious. So you know what? I had to do it my way. And I was very unorthodox, but it got results. But that being said, and for the sake of these people's safety, I would love to give them their flowers, but a lot of them, most of them still work in the institution. So a lot of the people that came to my aid and put themselves on the line or were willing to make statements are people of an immigrant lineage, whether they're naturalized citizens or first or second generation, right? And that's why I made it my business in the last video, and I will in beginning of each one throughout this Tether House series to say that a tether is someone that comes here, uses what our people went through, takes advantage of it, like the Union is known for always using either Martin Luther King or Malcolm X's name and image because they both marched with this institution. But look how you treat its American Black members. And then when you look at the majority of the people in power in this institution, I mean, I've let you hear exactly how Mr. Ashby handles himself. And then even on the NYU side, I mean, if Jose LeBrock is not the definition of tether, I mean, he likes to shuck and jive it because, yo, we used to go to church, you know what I'm saying? Me and my homie, give me 5 on the black hand side, brother. And they like to play in your face, but then just openly disrespect you and think it's okay. Now, however, by no means is everyone, all of them like that. And I want to continue to reiterate that, because when shit got real and it got time for me to get it up out of the mud, there were quite a few people, but And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to point or put anyone under a microscope, but I'll say this because those people know who they are. And those are the people that, since I no longer work at the institution, we are still in contact quite often. And I want to let you know that your sacrifices are eternally appreciated. I'm forever thankful. When I say that I love you as individuals and as people, not just for what you've done for me, but for who you are, because each one of you added something to my life over this journey that I've been going on over the last 5, 6 years, basically since Terry died. And I made the decision to be accountable to myself and get my life back in order. And y'all were the ones that was there when everybody else shitted on me. And that's why I always want to reiterate that not every immigrant is a tether, but all tethers are immigrants. And we're in a place in this country right now where everything is chaotic. And when 1199 is telling its members and using our dues to support things that have people, because whether we like what's going on right now or not, and this will be the last thing I talk about this in this format, but everything that's happening right now, people that have no legal standing to be here are being removed. That means these people are illegals. I don't understand how you protest that. I don't understand why certain politicians are calling for people to take to the streets. They're literally basically inciting violence on law enforcement. And I want my people to really pay attention and read the room on this. The last two individuals that lost their lives at the hands of ICE federal law enforcement were of European Caucasian descent, right? Do you see how angry these people are right now about this? But how many years has it been? I remember as a youngin' watching Rodney King get beat down. That was the first one caught on tape that made international news, right? But yet we still have no police brutality bill. But right after COVID, there was an Asian hate bill, but we still haven't got a police brutality bill. But now the liberal left, as well as our union, is out here fighting for people that aren't even legally supposed to be here. But when I record everything that's happening in my institution to myself and my peers, white, black, foundational American, and migrant alike, 1199 chose to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So basically, all we are is a way for you to siphon money and to ask for political favors. And I'm going to use this investigative journalism series that I'm doing here to prove it. Because I didn't spend the last 3 years recording every day of my life from the time I walked in that door at 9 o'clock at NYU until 5 when I clocked out for no damn reason. And on that, I'm going to get out of here. I want to say thank you to everyone for the support, even for those that don't agree with what I'm doing. Hey, listen, I appreciate that too, because engagement is an engagement. Anyone that needs any help, any assistance, has any thoughts, you can either leave it in the comments or reach out to us through personal message. And yeah, it's on and popping at this point, and I'm on your head. It is what it is. You're not going to do your job, so I'm going to do it for you. But because I have to do it for you, I'm going to make sure that when I'm done, not only am I made whole, but everyone else that you turned your back on, everyone else that you led astray, everyone else that you shitted on, you're going to go back and make them whole too. And that goes for 1199 and the institutions. And on that note, I'm going to sign out. Like I always say before I close out, realize, and transparency forces accountability. Y'all keep your eyes to the stars, keep that head on a swivel, and remember, it is a dirty game that they out here playing. But in order for you to get what you want out of this, you got to be willing to hold these demons accountable, because they don't have more power than us. We are the people. We're the reason that this whole shit spins on the axis in the first place. And I'm out. Y'all be easy.